Okay, it's going. Oh, it's really going.
Here we go. That was a great way to start off with a yawn.
All right. Well, welcome to the Plain Donuts podcast. I'm trying to think of something really shocking to say and offensive. I can't think of anything. Just kidding. I'm not actually trying to do that. Hey, Alicia hasn't said anything so far.
Oh, yeah, hi. I wasn't sure if you're going to say, hey, I'm Steve.
Oh,
or I was waiting.
Hey, welcome to the Plain Donuts podcast. I'm your co-host, Steve.
And I'm your other co-host, Alicia. Welcome. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sticking around this far through all this nonsense. As we're finishing setting up our social media, and we're trying really, really hard not to pay Facebook to boost our own posts to our friends, because that seems silly to me to do that.
And me.
And to Steve also.
we both find this to be a silly game.
It is so silly.
I mean, to be fair, Facebook can do what they want with their own stuff. Like, they're a company and they have to make money. I get it. Yeah. So they can, suppress our posts from our friends seeing them if they want to without us paying $50 for a boosted post or whatever. They could do that. They're allowed. It's just dumb.
I just don't like it.
We don't like it. Facebook... I'm gonna get Facebook on the horn right now.
Where's Mark Zuckerberg? Get him on the horn.
That guy can't be that busy.
Okay. Just has one kid, right? Can't be that busy if you just have one kid. It's only when you have 2 plus. Right?
Yeah,
Then they have conflicting schedules,
I know, and we know that Mark is taking his kids to soccer practice and all that stuff. Do you feel like you need to get closer?
I think I'm good. I feel like last time I was really close to the mic. So, unless it's showing.
I think you should get a little closer.
A little closer?
Yeah.
Like this?
Then...
I'll lean in.
Alright. Sorry about all this noise, everybody. Okay, so...
We're watching I'm watching see if we have anyone tweeting hashtag You're Plain Donuts. That's You're the possessive form, Plain Donuts. And no one's tweeted us yet.
Yeah, and you can continue to use that hashtag. Even if you're already hearing this, you can use it. We'll notice you. We might even talk about you live on air. That is recorded and then posted to iTunes later and other places.
And we might edit it, or we might not, depending on how much free time Steve has to edit.
We might do some jump scares. Is that what they're called?
I think so.
No, jump cuts.
Jump cuts. Hey, let's cut in also, a really great song right here.
Boo! Jump scare.
Jump scare.
Okay,
all right,
anyway.
That's great.
We did it.
Cheers for squeaking.
It's okay. It was last time, too, and you didn't notice.
That's true.
And I didn't notice on the recording, so now you just talked about how squeaky your chair is.
That everyone will know.
So, I know you started writing down, an order for things. Would you like to go into it, or do we want to talk... We could briefly introduce the podcast again and just say, hey, this is Your Plain Donuts. Our format is X. Or we could just go right into it.
It's the NPR quiz show where users call in. No, just kidding. That's wait, don't tell me. We're Plain Donuts. We don't have all that fancy equipment for you to call us unless you're calling my cell phone, which I will not put that on air unless you dox me, and then you probably will have that. So please don't dox me. Essentially, we have a couple of fish bowls here, which we actually have bowls this time.
We do have fish bowls.
I brought in bowls, and we put in a bunch of random topics that Steve and I think would be funny, or things that we want to talk about throughout the week. So we actually have 2. So the first one is, topics that we are going to decide, this is just random things that we thought would be good. Our second bowl is we're going to try and do reoccurring, I like to say, games, quote unquote, or things that we would like to do.
I like that you feel like you have to use quotes for
I like to use quotes. I love quotes.
I guess
for the record.
you kind of like indicate the opposite when you're using
anti-quotes.
Games. Are you playing games? I don't know what the quotes. You know how you see quotes on signs sometimes, and you're like, I don't know.
Or when like you get a okay, maybe you've had this happen to you. You get a card from your grandparents, and it says, "Hi, hope you have a great birthday," and they'll put "birthday" in quotes for some reason, and I think like maybe old-timey quotes is more for like emphasis, like how we italicize our bold things.
Oh,
now.
maybe, yeah.
So, but I've noticed that when I'm seeing that from my grandparents, they will put things in quotes, like.
So, like, the people making those signs might be old, and we're just being super ageist right now?
We could be doing that, Steve.
So shocking.
Whoa.
Hashtag Your Plain Donuts is ageist. I don't know.
If that's the most controversial we'll get, then I guess that's okay. That's okay with me.
I'm just feeling like we need to talk about Harambe. Just kidding. Because that's controversial, I guess?
I guess it's still controversial. Rip Harambe.
R.I.P. my man. Okay. Cool. So, what else do you have written down? A
brief intro.
Oh, do you want to... Is that where we discuss who we actually are?
I mean, we could discuss a little bit about who we are. Okay, how about this? I'll ask you to tell us as in everyone who's listening and me, 3 things about yourself. So, and you can share whatever you feel.
Oh, great. It's time for oversharing. This is my favorite part.
Okay.
I'm really good at this. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, and go. Steve, tell us 3 things about yourself.
I thought it was going to be more specific than that.
Oh, no. You go ahead. You get to pick whatever you want. Or I can start if you want some time to think about.
I have to ask you the question when it's your turn.
Yeah.
Because we have to be very formal. So 3 things about myself. The number 1 thing is that I am married and I live in Utah. Those are 2 things. I don't... These things are real boring. Like, I want to say...
tell us about one of your hobbies. How about that?
Oh, there are so many.
Steve streams, I could say that. And I'm now interrupting Steve on the 3 things that you should know about Steve. Yeah, he streams on Sundays. He does all kinds of things, which is pretty cool. I think he did Fallout to do this other game.
I was playing Hearthstone for a while. I do Fallout. I also am into, like, MMA, but only intellectually, not physically. Which is really weird to say, because it's funny, like, I'll talk to people about it, and I'll be like, oh, yeah, you know, like, I was telling somebody recently, like, a flying armbar is super easy to defend, because there's a lot happening for you to see and get out of. So, I guess it's not that easy, but you have to set it up. Anyway, these are things that I know, like, with my brain, but not with my body. So, yes, indeed. I have a whole list of things I know with my brain and not my body.
That's very interesting.
So those are some hobbies.
Yeah.
It's not even close to awkward hobbies. What else? I don't know. I like pop music, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I even like some Justin Bieber songs.
And Drake.
Oh,
Shout out to
is
Drake.
Really good.
If Drake's listening, hi Drake.
Shout out.
Shout out to Drake.
My homie Drake. He's out there.
From Toronto.
My homie Drake from Toronto. I wonder if he was neighbors with Justin Bieber.
I think he was from, like, Vancouver, wasn't he?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I know a lot about pop stars / hip-hop artists that happen to come from Canada, obviously. So...
She's a really big Celine Dion fan.
Jim Carrey's Canadian. You could maybe, if you wanted to really stretch it, he could be a modern hip-hop artist.
Norm Macdonald is Canadian?
There's so many Canadians. Shout out to our Canadian listeners.
Yo, Canada, welcome to the United States.
You're
We are the epitome of what you think of when you think of the United States.
Bacon and guns.
All right. I don't know if we should talk about Canada where they eat gravy on French fries.
Oh, they're so smart to do that.
It is delicious.
I love that Canada thought of that and not the United States.
I know. I guess you could, like a health food person from Canada might be like, in the United States, they really eat a lot of McDonald's. And you could just respond like, okay, gravy and cheese on French fries, tell me about how I should eat better for my body. How about that guzzling maple syrup, for sure.
Maple syrup everywhere.
These are Canadian stereotypes.
I also love that Canadian stereotypes are pretty mild compared to most stereotypes.
That's true.
Oh, you put maple syrup, you're really nice. It's like, okay, yeah, all right. You got me. Oh, you got me.
You sure got me there.
Hey.
Okay.
Anyways,
we're really good at. We're really embracing our Canadian fan base at this moment. Sorry,
guys. So did you share 3 things?
Yeah, I shared plenty of things. There's plenty of things. Okay. All right, so let's see if I can think of any more interesting questions. Although that was open-ended, so not yes or no, which they tell you not to do in school, right? Yeah.
In interviews? I don't know.
I don't know. Like, I just remember being told don't ask closed-ended questions.
Yeah. I think also when you're dating, apparently I've heard that. Like if you're sending a text message, like don't ask a yes or no question. Ask something like open and like, what do you like to normally do on Friday evenings? Instead of, would you like to go out Friday? You know, then it's like, yes, no.
I see.
Like, then the conversation ends, but anyway.
Hashtag plain donuts advice.
Yeah, plain donuts dating advice.
We're really good at dating. Both of us got married.
We did it!
So there you go.
The bling ring crowd.
Oh, my ring isn't blingy. It's just...
It's shiny.
It is shiny. It's it's newish. My old ring was like, I don't know. I used to think I was cool, and so I was like, I need this cool black ring with titanium or whatever. And then it just got all like scraped up and gross over the years. And a few months ago, my wife was like, "Your ring is gross. You need a new one." And so we got me a new ring, and it's a lot. It's just a gold kind of thick band. We'll take a photo of it later.
We'll post it.
It's pretty straightforward.
It's what you would expect when
but I would like to say it's not your dad's gold band.
Not your dad's gold band.
Okay, so Alicia.
Okay.
Well, what's one of your hobbies?
One of my hobbies, I would consider myself a multi-sect artist. I like to paint and draw and do some graphic design, and also make memes that I never share online, because I'm like, oh, this meme is hilarious, and I'll like make the meme, but then like, oh, it's kind of offensive, so I'll just like save it in a folder. Steve actually has like a funny pictures folder, which I've seen.
I have a whole folder of things called dumb pics.
And he's looking at it now on his desktop, but
I can't.
It's pretty good. So it's similar to that, but it's only of memes that I've made myself, so...
Dumb pics. It's my favorite folder of all time.
Maybe that can be another one of our things, is we can just go into Steve's dumb pics.
Talk about dumb pics.
Yeah. This is fine. Lots of sloth.
The Rizza. When Jeremy got his dog, he was like, I'm going to name her Rizzo, and we were like... no, you need to name her the Rizza. Yeah. And he was really confused.
I think my favorite joke that he makes is calling his dog Riz Khalifa. I think that's really funny.
It's a good one.
So,
this is a picture of a Chihuahua in a hoodie this is going to be slightly offensive, but not for me. I was looking for like stupid birthday pictures for my dad, because I really wanted to share like just something dumb with him, but not something that like everyone had posted or not one of those like the some e-cards or whatever. I didn't want to do that, so I just was looking for stupid pictures online, and I happened to, on Google, I found this picture of a Chihuahua in a hoodie with like the sunburst background, and it says, "Happy birthday, 15 cheers, chica."
Let's talk about Steve's accent there for a second.
I was just trying to read it as straightforward as possible.
15 jeers.
It says
Chica?
15 jeers, chica. That's what it says. It spells it with ease. F-E-E-F-T-E-E-N. 15. I'm not trying to put on a bad accent. I'm just reading the picture. If I was trying to put on an accent, it would be really good.
Give us your best accent, Steve.
What flavor?
Let's go Irish flavor.
Oh.
I don't even know what an Irish accent sounds like.
The curves of the European accents I never will get right ever. So it always goes to Australian, no matter what I do.
And we're going south.
Yeah.
And we're taking a detour.
Oh, it's constantly going south. That's about how good it is. I'm really good at Irish accents.
Great. That was so good.
Call me for any of your Leprechaun recording needs. I got you covered.
You can find him on Fiverr for $5. Steve will record a 30-second soundbite of him in an Irish accent.
I'm not going to do that for $5.
I would love to see that.
Just for a Fiverr. Did you retweet this?
I did retweet.
Oh, okay, great. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was confused. I'll do it for $50. I think that's worth it.
Tweet us if you want Steve to call someone with an Irish accent.
Hey! This is Steve, me blarney!
I just feel like it's like you take the vowels and you just extend them just beyond.
Me blarney! I can't. I no longer can do it. Like I had a good 3 seconds of Irish in me, and that's it. And now it's gone.
Are you any Irish, Steve?
I don't know. I mostly English. One of my ancestral grandfathers was a king of England. I hope not the murdery one.
But probably the murdery one,
yeah,
right?
That seems likely. Except he did murder all of his wives. Yeah. Did he have any kids, Henry
I think maybe like 1, 2... Or no, I think he kept murdering his wives because they were only having like girls instead of boys. And they're like, you're not giving me boys. Chop off your head. That was a really terrible...
Oh, yeah, Henry VIII.
Sounds like a mixture of Louis Armstrong, but like in the South. The South shall rise again.
Girl, you gotta give me more kids than that. You're dead. Okay.
We're really good at this accent situation.
We are really good at accents. So $50 for 30 seconds. We got this. We're just angling for money. Just kidding.
Yeah. To get some new mics. More mics.
Hashtag Plain Donuts mics. We have so many great hashtags for you. They all start with Plain Donuts. Yeah. Okay. What else? Oh, I was going to ask you more questions. So, you like to paint and draw and do graphic design. Alicia actually did our Plain Donuts logo. Ta-da. Bravo. You can go to twitter.com/yourplaindonuts or @yourplaindonuts on Tumblr or facebook.com/plaindonuts, and you can find that logo in any of those places.
Yeah.
We have a lot of Plain Donuts situations. Yeah. We are very findable. Come find us. Please.
Boost our organic search.
Yeah, totally. Do those
things.
We're not thus far on Instagram.
We're not on Instagram. I don't really know what we would Instagram at this point. Maybe our pictures of our faces.
We could take a picture of our really professional recording rig.
It's really professional.
Super
We have like one of those, when you have your laptop on your your lap.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's like a bean bag kind of situation, and then like a flat top. That's what our mic is on right now. So
it is.
But it really absorbs the sound pretty well from the table.
They have things that you can purchase to like set your mic in sort of a suspended state so that it doesn't pick up like table pounding and stuff like that. But
no, we'll
just go with this option.
It's a good option.
I like it. So we could take Instagram pictures of our super professional recording setup. What else? Okay, let me ask you another question.
Okay, yeah.
More about Alicia.
What do you want to know? You can ask me more questions at Your Plain Donuts Twitter.
Yeah. Hit us up on Twitter at Your Plain Donuts, or just use the hashtag Plain Donuts. We'll find it.
We'll find you.
Go to our Kickstarter. Just Kickstarter, search for Plain Donuts, and that's the one.
It's the only one there for Plain Donuts.
If you find it, let us know.
Let us know, and then we gotta change our game plan.
I know, because we don't have a Kickstarter yet, for the record. Hey, it's your Plain Donuts co-host, Steve. Wow, you're 3 episodes in. You are super committed. Seriously, thank you. We really, really do appreciate it. At this point, it seems like you like the show, hopefully. And really, if you want to help us succeed, the most helpful thing you could do, the most impactful thing you could do is tell one of your friends that this show exists and is popping off. Is going nuts, is crazy, is really good. The other thing you could do is leave a review on iTunes that says that this show is popping off and crazy and really good, or just regular kind of good. Really, anything you say on iTunes would be really helpful. But honestly, we love you a lot. We really appreciate you guys continuing along with us, and enjoy the rest of the episode. Thanks, friends. Okay, more questions. I should have written this down. What was one of your favorite childhood things or activities?
My favorite childhood things. So, I lived in Oklahoma for a year-ish when I was probably 7, 8. And one of my favorite things, we lived in this huge, several acre lot. It was very, a flat, it's Oklahoma. Everything's super flat. Our neighbors are, right next to each other. And our next door neighbor, he was a farmer, and his name was Frank, Farmer Frank. I like alliteration. It's really good for me.
That's good, yeah.
And he had cows, and so I would climb through this barbed wire fence, and I would go and hang out with these cows. And I would do that a lot.
Daily?
Daily. I would hang out with these cows, and, he had, 12 dogs. It was it was, this crazy situation, all these animals. And I would do it almost every day until one day when I was running, and I ran into his electric fence with my face. Oh, okay. All right. So then I didn't do it anymore, but I would still go and, just pet the cows and the horses through the fence.
Yeah.
But that was probably one of my favorite things, just because it was this crazy, weird, almost, I don't know, farm situation where I wasn't actually in charge of the farm, but I could always go and visit the farm, which is the place where you want to be as a child, because who wants to do hard labor and hard work?
I know.
As an 8-year-old, that's so lame when you can go and view someone else's hard work.
So my grandpa has a cattle farm, and we used to hang out there. At least once a year we would go, and we used to have this thing when we were kids where we individually, me, my brother, and my sister would go separately to my grandparents' house for a week during the summer. So you would end up hanging out with my grandpa doing farm work, or just whatever, hang out with my grandma doing other things. But, just go hang out on the farm. And it wasn't like, hey, let's pet the cows. Hey, let's play on the farm. Yeah. It was like, hey, I gotta literally do farm work today. Would you like to ride in this super hot tractor with me? And it's like, yeah, of course. Yes. I want to go in a tractor. This is going to be awesome. And then 3 hours in, you're like,
this is not awesome.
I should have brought a book.
This is not as exciting as I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting how at least now I feel like we really glamorize like this old school thing of, yeah, like back when men were men and they worked on farms. And it's like, there's a reason why people, you know, don't really do that anymore because of technology, for one. And also, you know, people hurting themselves. It's backbreaking work.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like this, oh, you know, you're like wiping off your sweat and taking off your cowboy hat. And there's like 5 girls in this truck like, ooh, like, what's he up to? Yeah, it's just kind of weird.
It's not like just super lovely work.
Yeah.
It's hard. But, you know, he's a really old man now and has been pretty healthy his whole life.
Does he still do intense like work like that?
No, he rents out most of his farm right now, but he keeps, I think, one pasture with cows, because he wouldn't know what to do with himself if he didn't have that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Like how many? So here's a question for you, and you may not know this. How much does a single cow cost? Like if I were to go to the store that sells a cow, which I don't know.
Well, you buy them at auction.
Yeah.
That's part of what he does, actually, is he'll breed his cattle and people will buy them.
He'll auction them off.
Yeah. It's part of what he does. And then he also just raises them for beef. So, which is pretty, if you just walked up to somebody in downtown Salt Lake and you're like, hey, have you ever smelled a cow being branded? They'd be like, no. And I'd be like, that's one of my worst childhood memories. Thanks, buddy. You know,
hey, we simultaneously covered one of my best childhood memories with Steve's worst childhood memory.
So I don't know. Farming is it's a dirty job, right? And it's hard, and you don't get to have a lot of feelings about animals when you're for example, when I was really, really young, we lived near my grandpa's farm and in a little town called Pea Green, Colorado.
Pea Green.
Yeah, like pea, like peas, green, like the food, pea green.
Peas.
And we had a dog named Prince who got in trouble because he was killing our neighbor's chickens. And when you're a farmer, that's kind of part of your livelihood, right? We think of Charlotte's Web and we go, haha, lovely, the farm just has all these animals. And it's well, they're raising those animals to make money for their livelihood. Or to make food to eat or whatever. And so Prince ended up killing some of our neighbor's chickens, and we had to put him down.
Whoa.
Which literally basically meant my dad taking him out back and shooting him with a .22. That, because that's what you did, you know? There's no oh, we need to go take him to the vet to have him put down humanely. It's this is going to be pretty fast, you know?
Why take him to the vet and spend what? $100 when you can just do it yourself?
And we were super poor and we lived in the boonies. So it was one of those things where it's well, sorry, this dog's got to go. He can't be controlled. That's really sad, but and that's just
But that's just the reality of the situation.
Yeah, in farming, that's just what it is.
Yeah. Plain Donuts Comedy Podcast.
Here
talking
we go.
About dogs.
Here we go. The smell of cows being branded.
Here comes Redneck Louis Armstrong.
Henry VIII is back.
Oh man, that's funny.
I have a new idea for a musical. A rap musical about Henry VIII. Are we into this?
I think if Hamilton can take off, there's so much material for Henry VIII.
I know.
There's so much material. So hey, Lin-Manuel Miranda, if you're listening to
You've started a whole new genre, rap musicals.
Rap musicals, please look into that. Hire me, maybe? I don't know.
You should hire Alicia to help you make the spin-off rap musicals.
Yeah. Don't challenge me to a rap battle because I'll lose. But I think if I were to pre-write my rap battles, which is not a rap battle anymore, it's more we're reading poetry to each other in a rhythmic way.
Yeah, well, and so I watch, what is that show with that old VJ from MTV, but he's now got a radio show and rappers go on it all the time.
Oh. I know what you're talking about.
Let's see if I can
Steven's
Google
gonna
this.
look it up.
VJ rap radio show. See if Google helps.
Google is like, I'll try.
Google's like, I don't know how to search these things. So, okay, well, while Google tries to search, I wonder if my Wi-Fi is just being weird.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Speaking of that, for some reason this reminded me, Steve, your 8-bit song intro this week is...
Well, I don't know about this week.
Oh,
we haven't decided, because remember, we have...
Oh, right.
Last week will be...
Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain section. So,
Sway is the... yeah.
Yeah? Is that it?
Yeah, but what's his radio show called? I can't remember. Sway's Universe, of course. Sway in the morning. But anyway, rappers go on there all the time. Back to the story. So rappers go there all the time, and they'll do this. They call it a freestyle. And to me, when you say freestyle, I think, oh, they're just gonna go like off the dome, which isn't necessarily always the case actually, because Sway's basically just like, you can do whatever. You can do something written, or you can do something actual freestyle if you want, or whatever. But I think on YouTube, in the comments, people always assume it's just like off the top of your head. So I was really confused because I saw Lecrae on there one time, and he had a really good freestyle, and like somebody in the comments was like, "Wow, that freestyle is so good," and I thought they were just commenting about like that it was just good off the top of his head, but I was like, I'm pretty sure I've heard those lines in some of his songs before. I don't understand the format of this. So it was really a struggle for me. Sway's Universe is really hard for me to understand.
That's great.
Get it? Get on my level.
Get on our level. Okay. So, should we transition into our normal
our
format?
Normal routine. Wait, do we want to talk about any of our past life anymore, or any more about us?
I think that's good for this week.
Okay.
They can learn more.
I know.
You guys can dox us more later.
I like how you keep inviting our audience to like maliciously put our information on
maybe that'll help grow our base.
I know.
Because at this point, I think we have 11 likes on Facebook. So.
I know, we're really hitting it hard, though.
We're really spamming our friends.
This post has reached 17 people,
though.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
All right, so the topic I pulled out of our bowl is Pimp My Ride.
Oh, no. The only thing, I don't know why I thought of this, except I do remember now.
All right,
okay, so... do you remember Pimp My Ride, the television show? Okay, of course. Everybody remembers Pimp My Ride.
And I remember there was lots of, like, crouching on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, the camera, I think this was, like, a 2000s, 90s thing where the camera would just, like, zoom in and out and in and out.
Yeah.
And, like, twist.
I remember this.
And it was, like, and they would have, like, this border of, like, purple or some kind of hazy thing.
Whatever it would be like.
Crazy.
Let us show you this awesome car in very confusing, sickening motion.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
You're like, I can't really tell what the car is at this point because there's not really anything happening.
But that's the whole idea, right? Like, they're like, you can't really see what's going on with this car, because apparently it turns out, like, a lot of the cars from Pimp My Ride, they just fell apart completely after the show was over.
They didn't help the car in any way mechanically. Like, they just kind of went out and were like, yeah, we'll just add a TV to this dude's car.
Yeah.
And I also heard that a lot of times when they would reroute the electricity for all these crazy things, they would cut it off from the battery. So sometimes the car couldn't even start.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, really, Pimp My Ride was really bad.
Yeah.
But there was another show on at around the same time.
Overhauling?
Yeah. Where they would, like, take cars and, like, literally completely overhaul them.
And that was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. Douglas Foose or whatever. Is that the guy?
I don't
know. That's the guy that, like, made all the designs for the cars. And I just thought they were... Chip Foose is the guy's name. I just thought they were awesome. Yeah. But that show was so real.
Yeah.
I don't know. The crazy thing about it was, like, they played it off like these guys that were working on these cars, what I can't remember what they were called. The shop had like a cool name or whatever. And like, they would sit down and have these business meetings like, so what are we going to do with this car? You know? And there's like a design guy, like the mechanic, and then you had like the boss or whatever, like in charge of the shop. And I think that was like the format for a lot of these shows. So, because there was one about motorcycles. Well, they didn't like take motorcycles and redo them. They just built custom motorcycles. Yeah.
What was the name of that?
There are still some of them out there that are continuing to this day. Like,
to this day.
To this day. From way in the past.
From 2002 till now.
But I don't really know why I brought up Pimp My Ride. The funny thing about Pimp My Ride is, and I was actually thinking about this recently, that I feel like things from that era of television, most of it didn't last until now. But like the one piece of Pimp My Ride where you have Exhibit. I knew it had a Z in it. This is how my brain works. I know one of the letters in your name.
Maya Lou, Lion King.
Get it? So anyway, Exhibit would be like, we heard you like surfing, so, and that became a meme. We heard you like this, so we put this on this, right? And that lasts until now.
Yeah.
And I wonder if, like, kids on Tumblr today, like 15-year-olds who are like, I'm cool and I have a Tumblr that I don't show my parents. I wonder if they even know, like, what that meme is from.
Probably not. I mean, unless they would look it up and see a clip or something from back in the day. I don't think they would even know, like, whole episodes wise. It's like, we heard you like swimming pools, so we put a swimming pool in your swimming pool on your car. That was like one of the, like, the first, when I think the word meme came around, that was one of the first memes. Was Exhibit.
Well, I remember I had a friend who had a discussion about how to say the word meme a long time ago, and I was like, what even is this word? And it was like, it was a long time back, like LiveJournal days.
Ooh, LiveJournal.
So
shout out if you got a LiveJournal account.
Yeah, I think mine still exists.
I think mine exists too.
I don't want to look.
I don't want to look.
So I think we've pretty much wrung Pimp My Ride for all it's worth as far as discussion goes.
All right, let's get some good bowl sounds here. I'll get it close to the mic so you can hear it.
With our new official fish bowls.
Yeah, it's good sounds.
Official fish bowl.
We're hilarious. The topic I chose was eating sushi off of people.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, I'm a millennial, so obviously I read BuzzFeed articles or obviously. I'll just make that connection right away, and you can call me trash or whatever. That's fine. But there was a recent episode with the Try Guys. They're like the group of 4 guys that go around with BuzzFeed, and they had this thing where they stripped down completely nude and they put sushi on their bodies, and they had the rest of their coworkers come in and eat sushi off of them. So I just
completely nude,
yeah. They had to blur their areas. If you can look this up, it's real.
They had their sushi rolls out?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to make a really funny connection with wieners. Okay, let's...
But it's like, and this is not related to eating sushi off people. It's related to BuzzFeed and their HR department.
Okay.
Like, I wonder, because some of their videos are completely insane.
Yeah.
And I just think about, who is this poor HR man that's trying to, having people come into his office, obviously, and saying, I feel harassed. This happened. What do I do? Like, and what part of that's like, that's just part of this business that we have here.
Yeah, it's the entertainment business or whatever.
BuzzFeed is very, I don't know, it seems kind of corporate to me at the same time. At least a section of them has to be, because they're so popular and they're everywhere. They have all their different sections, but that just made me think of that. So
yeah. BuzzFeed is crazy.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about, like, eating sushi off of people. Like, I just can't think of who would want to do that. Like, and how And this is just because I run in the wrong circles of people, but I really can't think of how, like, you incorporate others into something so strange as that, right? Like, I'm having a party, it's gonna be really fun, we're gonna drink sake and eat sushi off a naked woman.
Yeah,
like,
it's like, hooray! And sushi is the food that I would not want to eat out of someone. Like, give me something that's, I mean... I like sushi, you know, raw fish, that doesn't bother me.
I like sushi too.
The idea that it's sitting on someone's body and it's getting warm from their body heat, like, is very unappealing to me. So, I don't know, like, give me egg rolls off of someone's body, maybe. Give me, I don't know, what's another finger food? Peanuts.
I don't know. I would sort of just be like, did you make sure they Purelled up before we got going with it?
And that would affect the taste too, I'm assuming. Like, whatever they washed themselves with before.
Well, and it's like,
and if they're getting sweaty, you know, it's obvious.
It's gotta be, like...
It's gotta be a little
What is your writer like if you're like a person who has sushi eaten off? You're like, room must be 70 degrees and no hotter or colder. You know, like, I need 15 yellow M&Ms before I get started. I'm just thinking of writers now. I have no idea. But I guess, you know, the thing is maybe if you're like really rich and... like,
and you've run out of things to do with your money.
Yeah. Well, and that's another question is, how much does it cost to get a naked person to lay on your table?
I think it was, from what I remember, it was not as expensive as I thought it was going to be. Like, it was like $200 an hour, which is expensive, but not as expensive as I thought it could potentially be. I mean, if it includes the food, and unless it just includes the plane, like the person that lays there.
Yeah, if that's just there. I mean, hey, if you're making $200 an hour to lay down and have sushi eaten off of you, like,
okay,
maybe, that might be worth it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Can you imagine that's your job? Hey, so what are you doing this weekend? Oh, I got this art show I'm going to. Like, oh, it sounds kind of fun. Yeah, but I gotta just lay there for 3 hours. Like, oh, are you part of the exhibit? No, I'm just laying there and people are eating food off of me the entire time. And secondary question, what if you have to go to the bathroom? Or if something, like, you can't move, you have to really stay there.
What if, like, you had something bad to eat, like, a few hours before this engagement? And... what if you had to, like, in an emergency, get to a bathroom?
And you stand up, and all the sushi falls off of you onto the ground, and you're just running, and you have no shoes, and you have no clothes, and maybe you have, like, those leaf or seaweed, like, sticking
just
to you.
stuck to your body. Oh man, that sounds
That's a hilarious visual. If you're a comedy writer and you're listening to this, someone please incorporate that into your next movie.
We will write comedy for you for $75 an hour. That seems like a lot of... not very much for two people. That's not a very good salary.
Yeah, we wouldn't make it in Hollywood, Steve.
We'd never make it. We will write comedy for you for $1 million per episode. Okay, all right. Got our terms covered there.